Hey folks, welcome to our first video in the Google PageSpeed Insights. Now, we've got a website we've put up to frazoo.net/speed2. You can actually pull it up in your browser if you want to, or actually put it into the Insights. We'll leave it up there for you to test so you can take a look at these exact same results. I just quickly want to explain what you're seeing here. We've put our address in, we've run the test. Google sort of breaks down the results into a should fix and a consider fixing. And I just quickly wanted to explain what each of these things really means. Optimize images basically means that you should run your images through an image optimizer. Dreamweaver has one built in, or you could go to a website like TinyJPEG or TinyPNG. You should upload your pictures, optimize them, download them, put them into your website, and then publish them up. I'll show you how to do that in one of the next videos, so we don't have to get into that right now. The next thing is enable compression. Now, if we actually take a look at what this says here, compressing resources with gzip or deflate can reduce the number of bytes sent over the network. Yeah, that's a little bit heady. It also means you need to contact your web host to have gzip compression enabled for your web hosting account. And that also leads us into the next item, leverage browser caching. This doesn't mean go clear your cache in your browser like you'll often have to do. This means you also need to contact your web host because they'll need to do a little bit of something for your hosting account unless you're a server admin and know what you're doing. I'd suggest you just contact your host and have them do the gzip compression and the leverage browser caching all at the same time. Okay, the last thing on the should fix list is the eliminate render blocking JavaScript and CSS in above the full content. Bit of a mouthful. What that really means is in your web page you have JavaScript and CSS files that are loaded in the header of the page. Google is suggesting they be moved to the bottom of the page or loaded after the content, which is basically the bottom of the page. Now, there's some tricks to this, and we're going to provide some tricks and some tips to loading the style sheets and loading the JavaScript so it does not cause this render blocking message, because Google is good enough to provide a nice script that loads your style sheets, and it's called asynchronous loading, meaning it will load multiple style sheets at once. It's going to do it through a script and basically detect to see if the content is loaded, yes or no. If it's loaded, it's going to quickly pop in those style sheets for you. And we'll take a look at that in the next video as well. Now, after that, we'll take a look at the consider fixing. That is minifying the CSS, minifying your JavaScript, and minifying the HTML. These things here we can all do, and then work on our website, make regular updates, and the only thing you would need to make sure of is if you add any images that you re-optimize them, right? Now, when we get into fixing or minifying CSS, JavaScript, and HTML, that's where it gets a little bit messier. And when I mean messier, I mean when you take a look at a compressed or minified file, they're impossible to work in. So you'll need to keep regular backups of your site, and I will in the video show you how to reorder them and then reminify them. So if you have to go back in and make a change to the JavaScript or CSS, and if you're making regular updates to your website, you'll probably do that fairly often. And minifying the HTML, that's one of those things that you can do it, but it should only be done on the production website. So basically you'll need a copy of your website, make your updates, and then you can go and minify the HTML on a copy of it and publish it up to the server. So we'll take a look at some of those things as well. But for now, just a quick introduction to what the results are actually telling us to do, and that we're going to be running through each of these in the following videos.